Howdy, y'alls. It's me, Dr. Edwards again. This time here to help you with our final project for our course. Final project part 2. So you can see right here, I have the rubric and prompt right up in front of me. As I always recommend, have it on hand whenever you start drafting a response. All right. So I'm not going to go back over the whole setup, right? The whole prompt. We've done that. That's come and gone. But I am going to want to focus on trying to help kind of clarify and further orient you for this final piece. All right, the part 2. So if you look on down here, it talks about this press conference script. All right, cultural press conference script. Now that may throw some of you guys, and I understand the wording in some of this can be quite, I give them feedback on it. Anyway, not to get down on that, but I think it would really help if you think of this cultural press conference script more as a paper, all right? And an analytical paper, because you're comparing and contrasting and exploring the different perspectives and values involved between the different stakeholder groups and the cultural resources. All right. It may help you to think of it as a research paper. All right, not a press conference script. And along with that, we've had these milestone 1, milestone 2, final project part 1, and on each of those, I have given you focused and directed feedback. All right, so that is a key thing you want to make sure you are addressing in your final part 2 here. Okay. Because I take notes on all that. All right, I go back and I look to see that you're addressing these things that I've called to your attention. So make sure that you're doing that. That's really important because I expect it to be reflected in this final part 2. I've already said have the rubric and prompt in hand. All right. You can use it to actually help structure your document. If you look down here at the key aspects of the prompt, it has there's Roman numeral 1, 2, subsections A, B, and C, section 3, 4, and 5. You might use those to actually structure your document. All right. Hint, hint, wink, wink. It makes it all the easier for me to review because I'm like, oh, there they are. They're talking about that thing there. And you'll see, if you scroll down further, all right, those key points, you'll see that there are these bolded words, right, and key terms, all right? Ownership of culture, ownership of the past, final resolution, future generations, right? You get the idea. Now, if you scroll on down, you'll see that those things, they show up in the critical elements, right, of the rubric that's going to be used to assess your work. All right. So, hint, hint. You use those words, right? Use those kind of key terms because I'll be scanning for them. All right. I look for them. You might even go ahead and bold them. It makes them stand out all the more. I'm like, oh, it's right there. There they are talking about this key thing, and boom, I can easily see it. It's just a tip. You don't have to, but things that help the reviewer review the work are usually good things. Let's see here. Other things I'm going to be looking for, right, is you making course connections. We've spent 8 weeks together, all right, and I'd like to see you connect to our other topics. I mean, God, there's so much overlap. We've had all of our readings, all their extra resources I've shared, our discussions, and journal assignments, all right? And some of them, hint, hint, kind of touch on these critical elements, okay? So keep an eye out for that. Be like, oh yeah, this is like that other thing that we talked about. Okay, note that. That's a good thing. Don't go off on a tangent, all right, and go back off on that other thing. Just note the connection. Oh, this is similar to X. Or this is similar to what we discussed in our module 2 discussion, or something like that. Cite it on citation. Okay. Got to make sure it's APA, all right? You have access to all my APA sources, right? I give you the link to Shapiro Library's APA style page. You have my APA appendix, all right? If you haven't mastered APA yet, yeah, get it down. Also, with citation, use in-text citation as well, all right? So if you were drawing on a source, all right, be it one that you've looked up, I've looked up, one from our course, you got to cite it. And the way, lots of you have done this, there's a few that could invest in this, because it makes your connection clear and it gives credit where it's due. So definitely take the time to include in-text citation, all right? Looking at my list of key things, proof your work. And we're really lucky. We have access to the online writing center, and they're awesome. You give them 24, 48 hours, and they will review your writing. They'll proof for typos, grammar. They have like an online chat feature that you can use. It's an incredible resource. So if you've had some hiccups, right, with your academic writing, that's a great resource to take advantage of, right? And don't feel funny about it. Like I have people read over my writing all the time. Okay, it's just kind of part of academia. You do it. Let's see here. Yeah, don't leave things to the last minute, right? Don't leave this until Friday night and be like, oh yeah, I'll just crank this on it. No, because it shows in your work. This is supposed to be a carefully crafted, complex analysis of ethical issues related to cultural resources, right? And that's not something you can just whip on out last minute, okay? Again, you got to be looking back to the previous feedback I've left you, address it, right? Looking here, if I always suggest having not just the online writing center, but have another person read over your writing, right? Does it make sense to them? To be like, oh, hey, yeah, that's a great point. Or I don't understand this, what you're saying here. Those are helpful things. The online writing center can help with a lot of that. But, if you got your academic writing down pretty good, it might suffice just to have another, person that is writing savvy, read it over and give you some honest, directed feedback before you submit it for my feedback. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, any questions, concerns? I'm going to try to make myself as available as possible, given that it's going to be our last week. And I'm sure there'll be some concerns or questions that pop up and you're like, oh yeah, I don't understand, or like, I need help with this thing. Don't you hesitate, all right? Pick up your phone, call me, all right? Text me, email me. We can set up a Skype. And I will do my absolute best to get back to you as soon as possible, so you're not left hanging and worrying and waiting. All right, that's like the worst feeling in the world. Yeah, I hated that feeling when I was an undergrad, waiting for feedback and stuff. So I'm also going to be trying to get your feedback on your part 1 back to you as soon as possible, so you can have that to work with for this piece. So that's where I'm going to leave this, all right? And, of course, any questions, concerns, don't you hesitate, all right? I'm dead serious about it. Don't be afraid of asking questions. There is nothing bad or wrong about it. It's part of being a student, okay? Alrighty, take care, y'alls. Bye.